today where it's nice and quiet. Still no makeup. I just haven't got the energy to fuss around, but I do look a lot healthier, so it doesn't matter as much. Yeah. So it's been a while. It's currently Sunday in Australia, and I had my hysterectomy on Tuesday. So it's been quite a few days. I had to leave it. I really wanted to vlog every day, but initially after the surgery until Thursday, my shoulder was excruciatingly painful due to gas they use to separate your organs more. So because they're all very close together, low in your pelvis. So they had to separate them with a gas, and that gas was causing pain in my shoulder somehow. I'm not 100% sure how that works. A lot of people say it causes pressure on nerves that generally do go to the shoulder, so it happens for a lot of women who have this. So just a warning, if you are watching this because you're thinking about a hysterectomy or you have one booked, the shoulder pain was the worst part. I had a robotic hysterectomy, so they did it with a robot. Other hysterectomies I have heard other parts are more painful. For me personally, the shoulder pain, I was screaming and crying. It was very, very painful. The rest is quite painful on the outside for a couple of days. So I was very sore and I couldn't have vlogged, sadly, which disappointed me a lot. But I knew that I could just keep track of what was happening and come back and do it later and let you guys know what the journey was. So for the Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, the outside was painful. I was sore. The cuts are, I'm sore on the outside. I was recovering with my shoulder. It was hard to move, felt very stiff. Friday, I was like, which is a couple of days ago, I was still quite sore on the outside, not as bad, but the inside was starting to wake up. So nerves there are starting to go, hi, and in not a nice way. So I was getting very crampy, still stiff for Friday and Saturday. I was still stiff yesterday. Today has been my best day so far, which is Sunday. I slept a lot. Like, my body just forced me to rest. I didn't get a choice. I was quite bored, but I had to rest. So my body just forced me against my will to rest, which was painful, but yeah, good. I feel amazing after all that rest. My colour is back, which is nice. Yeah, just still not up to, the usual ways I like to fuss with myself and how I look. But my weight has gone down quite a lot instantly, maybe 10 kilos just instantly. Just because, yeah, taking that horrible big thing out has, maybe there was a lot of fluid with it. I don't know. Maybe I was retaining fluid, and yeah, it was obviously causing quite a problem for me, health-wise. So I wanted to talk a bit about that today and why I had to have a hysterectomy. So I had, as you know, deeply infiltrating or stage 4 endometriosis. So I've taken some notes. So if you see me look to the side, it's just me checking my notes to make sure I'm giving you correct information to the best of my ability. So that is when tissue starts growing. So scar tissue starts getting created. So every time you have a period, when you ovulate and things, it's starting to cause you scar tissue. And that grows so outside of your uterus. So you'll have tissue that tests to be uterine type tissue outside of your uterus. For me, it was growing backwards into my bowel. So that was causing me to be quite constipated all the time. I had a lot of tummy problems that we didn't know were caused by that. They probably were. Because it does say on my list that it can cause digestive issues. There wasn't a lot of pain with opening my bowels, but sometimes. But I thought it was just what I was eating, because I mean, I'm not a healthy person. I do eat bad food. That's another thing I'm trying to tackle, is binge eating and eating quite bad foods just to get that dopamine boost that I need to find in other ways, maybe by exercise or just more healthy things. So that may be something I mention here, as that's a bit of a journey for me. I find it really difficult. It's like drugs for me. It's just bad. It's just bad food. So what else have we got? So yeah, so it's rare. Like, most people just get regular endometriosis, but I had to be special, obviously, and just be dramatic. It can cause chronic pain, which was causing quite a lot of pain in my lower back. I think I've mentioned that in other videos. My lower back was excruciating, and that is gone now. I can't express how good that feels. I am so happy. I'm back to feeling 42, not 82. I just wasn't ready to be crippled. It's like, I don't expect that yet. I feel young, and I want to continue to live young for a bit yet. So yeah, it can cause you difficulty urinating. I didn't feel like I had a lot of difficulty, but I have to say I went several hours in the day, and then I just like pee and pee and pee all together. So I'd be back and forth to the toilet maybe later in the day and just not pee for hours in the day. And I didn't really connect that as something wrong. You just don't think about it. You don't think about when you go to the toilet. It's not a, big deal. It can cause pain after relations. I didn't have that. I feel quite lucky. Maybe because it wasn't coming forward into the bladder, it was going back into the bowel. So it was just the excruciating lower back pain became unlivable. It hurt for me to go from sitting to getting up, or getting up to sitting. So every time I had to get up, or every time I had to sit down, I was just dreading it. Really dreading it. Of course, it's been quite painful after surgery too, but today it's definitely a lot better. To get up and sit down and that, and I'm not dreading it quite so much today. But then it comes and goes now. Like, I think the pain lets me know when to rest after surgery. But yeah, it's good. So yeah, so deeply penetrating endometriosis is inflammation that leads to scar tissue, and that they call adhesions. It can cause frozen pelvis, where the scar tissue starts to stick your lower pelvic organs together, and then it all freezes, which isn't good. I had a lot of massage things to use to try to keep the organs moving. I kept moving as long as I could, but there came a point I couldn't anymore because of the lower back pain. It was just too bad. But yeah, that's now gone, so I can go back to being active soon, hopefully. Of course, I'm being very careful at the moment. I have just had surgery, and until I see my doctor, she really wants me resting, which I see her on the 27th, I think. So we'll rest till then, and then we'll talk to her about maybe going out on some walks and getting back to my life, because it's been on hold for quite a long time now. I don't like that. I don't want I put my life on hold when I was young to have children young, because I wanted this part of my life for myself. That was the plan. So I'm not, yeah. I'm not too pleased at putting it on hold again. Yeah, I worked hard to get to this point where my children are grown, and I can have my life. So, yeah, not keen on, keeping it on hold. So I made the decision that I would have a hysterectomy, so I wasn't pissing about a lot with it. I didn't want to be going, to the doctor all the time and having to have adhesions removed all the time and things like that, because they would come back. They still can, this isn't a cure. Things can still come back after hysterectomy from what research I've done. It's just going to be less likely, because there's nothing there to upset the apple cart down there. The uterus was really upsetting the apple cart. It was quite big, because, as we'll go on, there were problems with that too. I didn't have fibroids, but I had a lot of other problems, which I have put a post up with the medical report that show what those problems were. They were extensive. Some things could be removed, but it was just so extensive and so overwhelming to read that report, and it really made me wake up and go, this is out of control. I didn't have a lot of indications that was the problem. It really did was more around my bowel. I was getting polyps, I was getting a lot of heartburn, reflux, constipation, issues like that. So yeah, it didn't indicate, my periods were very heavy, but being 42, I thought, well, I'm coming to the end of a time. I'm heading up to things like perimenopause, menopause, so I blamed it on that. I thought hormones are changing. It's starting to break down. Until I got a period that just didn't stop, and it didn't stop for months and months and months. Then they gave me Mirena, which slowed it down a lot. It would stop sometimes, but it would spot most of the time. And then if I did anything heavy duty, like trying to clean out this shed so that I can vlog here, I would bleed again. It was pointless. Very, very pointless. So yeah, in the end, I gave up on it and said time to let it go. And I'm really happy I made that decision. Of course, it's the end of an era. There will be no more babies. There'll be no more of that kind of thing. But yeah, I think before you make the decision, make sure you feel like I feel. Make sure you feel very comfortable with that, very happy with that. Just not emotional about it. Because I think if you're highly emotional about it, you're probably not ready to let go of that phase of your life. Because there is a grieving process with letting go of that, even if you don't want more children. It's a part of, having children is a part of female youth, I think, and it is letting go of a certain aspect of youth. So I think if you're not ready, don't do it. Just don't. Do it when you're ready. Get yourself emotionally ready and physically ready, because it is huge to have a hysterectomy. It's a huge decision. and take it as seriously as it is. It's a very serious decision. Just because I'm having a good time with it, it's an individual thing too, and I'm having a good time at the moment. I'm still very crampy now. The inside nerves have woken up, and I'm quite crampy, and that can get quite emotional because you're sore and you're just sick of it, and you're bored because you're laying around. The novelty of doing nothing very quickly wears off. So there's all those things that really contribute to the decision of taking the big leap and just getting rid of the problem. It really has gotten rid of the problem for me. The type of endometriosis I had does cause infertility anyway. So if I wanted a child, I would probably have to have IVF and go through a lot to have that, because a result of all that scar tissue growing all around the place and sticking things together and being a pain is infertility. Now, the problem with my actual uterus, though, is called adenomyosis. So I also had that, which it's when tissue grows into the uterine walls. So it's like the opposite of endometriosis, where it grows out. So I had both. My uterus was quite large, probably as big as a melon, by what she'd indicated to me. It definitely feels like it was that large. It felt like it was going to fall out. It was very heavy. Like I feel much lighter. As I said, I'm losing weight. I think maybe I was retaining a lot of fluid just in my body from the inflammation and from just how heavy and big that was. I think it was causing a lot of other issues that, as I go through, I think, and talk to my doctor again, I think we'll find out exactly why that's going on. She may have some suggestions that I can bring back here. At the moment, I don't know. I'm assuming it was a lot of fluid and things like that, and just my body obviously keeping a lot of things inside because it felt it needed to. Maybe it felt it needed to retain a bit of fat because I was unwell. I just kept doing it and doing it, but that's coming off very quickly. I'm still eating very well. I always eat well. Nothing stops me. That can be a good and a bad thing, but it's a really good thing at the moment because I need to be doing the right thing for my body. I'm pretty happy. That can also, adenomyosis can also cause infertility, and it can cause pelvic organ prolapse, which I'm not surprised. Very painful. It causes a decrease in energy, and I definitely, I felt like something was sucking all the vitamins out of my body. I was drinking like Sustagen to try to get extra vitamins, taking a lot of supplements to try and get extra vitamins because my energy was just so low. It wasn't doing a lot. It felt like something was just sucking it all out, no matter as fast as I could put it in. So I agree. Yeah, sucks on your energy. I definitely don't have that problem now. After a lot of sleep over the last few days and that, today I feel very normal and not, you really feel it. It really feels like something sucking the life out of you. You can feel that, and I don't feel that now. I feel like, I'm keeping what I put in, which is very nice. It has an effect, Like, the Sustagen has an effect on my energy. I feel more energetic. Supplements have an effect where I have more energy, and I sleep better and things like that, because something isn't sucking it out. I just really felt like gone. I think that's it, really, for the effect it had on me that I can most. But then who knows what was the endometriosis, what was the adenomyosis. I think that lower back pain was how big my uterus was, how heavy, and it's just sitting towards my back too. So the endometriosis and the adenomyosis and everything was just putting so much pressure, that is now gone, and I couldn't be happier. Yeah, I think you've got to get through those first 5 days after the hysterectomy. It's quite a ride.